barely crept through the curtains as you moved around the kitchen finishing breakfast for Jungkook. Your hands felt almost too careful as you placed each dish, adjusting it so everything looked perfect. Even now, weeks after your wedding, your heart raced around him an unease that hadn't left since that first day. You had married him out of duty to your parents, not expecting this world of shadows and danger that came with his name. You didn't hate him, but there was a healthy fear rooted in both his profession and his presence. He barely spoke to you, but he was attentive in unexpected ways. Your favorite food showed up, the little things you liked were never forgotten, and though he didn't say much, you noticed that he paid close attention to you. It was confusing, this mix of distance and care, and it left you wondering what to make of him. His eyes flickered to you as you approached. Feed me, he had instructed in that low voice of his, a command that made your cheeks warm despite the fear. Swallowing dirt a bit of nervousness, you took the breakfast and brought it to his lips. He accepted it without breaking his gaze from yours, passing only briefly before going back to his phone conversation. As you brought another bite to Jungkook's mouth, his voice suddenly rose sharp and commanding. No, don't let him get away. Catch him now. The intensity in his tone startled you so much that your hand shook and you instinctively pulled back, spilling the bite onto the table. Your heart pounded as you took a small step back, fear flashing across your face. He turned to look at you, his features softening immediately as he took in your startled expression. For a moment, the hardness in his eyes faded, replaced by an unspoken apology. He gave you a slight nod as if to say I'm sorry before going back to his phone call, his voice dropping to a calmer tone now. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, he hung up. He looked at you for a moment as though choosing his words carefully. I didn't mean to scare you, he said, his voice softer than usual. I forget sometimes how my words must sound, especially to you. You bite your lips, managing a small smile. It's fine, you replied, though your voice wavered a little. I understand, it's just I'm still not used to this side of you. He sighed, reaching for your hand and gently pulling you back to the table. I know, and it's okay if you are not used to it. I don't expect you to be. He paused, his eyes meeting yours with a rare vulnerability. But I want you to know, none of this, nothing about my world will ever hurt you. You are safe with me. Marrying you, it was my family's idea at first, but I didn't hate the thought of it. I know you were different from everyone around me. His thumb brushed over your knuckles and there was a slight smile in his eyes. You don't have to be afraid of me, Vian. I know my silence doesn't help, but I don't want you to feel like a stranger in your own home. As Jungkook stood up from the table, his gaze lingered on you for a brief second and he gave you a small nod. I have to go now. You nodded back, offering a shy smile. Alright, take care. Without another word, he turned and walked out, leaving you alone in the quiet kitchen. The moment the door closed, you felt a wave of relief wash over you, your shoulders finally relaxing as you sank into the chair. You exhaled deeply, realizing you had been holding your breath without even noticing. You sat there for a moment, shaking your head at yourself. Why are you so nervous around him, Vayan? He is your husband, for heaven's sake, not some stranger. Come on, Vayan, you muttered, trying to give yourself a little peep talk. He's been nothing but kind to you. Sure, he doesn't talk to you, but he always there. And he looks after you. He could have been cold or distant, and yet he tries in his own way. Your fingers placed with the edge of the napkin on the table as you continue talking to yourself. But why is it that every time he is around, I feel like I can't breathe? Why does he make me feel like this? Like I am walking on a tightrope. You sat up a bit straighter, almost scolding yourself now. Vayan, you need to get a grip. He is your husband. He chose you and he's trying to make things work, even if he's not exactly easy to read. Stop letting his intensity get to you. You let out one more sign, whispering to yourself, maybe he isn't as dangerous as I thought. At afternoon, after you ate and sat on the couch, your phone burst on the table, and as you glanced at the screen, your heart gave an unexpected jolt. Jungkook. His name, just seeing it, made you feel a blend of shyness and nervousness that had grown familiar these past few weeks. Swallowing back a bit of that fluttering feeling, you lifted the call, pressing the phone to your ear. Hello? Hello, Wayne. Did you have lunch? Oh, yes, I did. You replied, tucking a shade of hair behind your ear, a small smile tugging at your lips despite yourself. What about you? Did you have your lunch? Not yet. I'm tied up at the moment, but I will eat soon. I wanted to make sure you weren't skipping your meals. His words made your heart beat a little faster, a warmth spreading through you. He was in the middle of a busy day, surrounded by work and his dangerous world, and yet he still thought to check up on you. I wasn't going to skip, but thank you for calling. Of course, just because I'm busy doesn't mean I can't take a moment for you. You felt your cheeks heat up, the tenderness in his words sinking deeper than you had expected. Still, it's nice of you. I didn't think you would call. You thought I would forgot? Well, no, but I know you're always busy. I am, but I'll make time for you, Ryan, every day if I have to. Thank you, Jungkook. Okay then, bye. I will see you tonight. Alright. Take care and make sure you eat, okay? I will. See you soon, Vayan. Bye. With that, he hung up. You kept holding the phone to your chest, the sound of his voice echoing in your mind. Little by little, with each thoughtful call, each gentle word, he was becoming someone more than just your husband in name. He was becoming the man you might be falling for. As you stepped out of the bathroom, the soft glow of the bedroom lights danced on the silky fabric of your red night dress, its smooth material hugging your frame just right. Jungkook was pacing the room, his phone pressed to his ear, but the moment he saw you, he stopped mid-sentence. His gaze lingered, his expression shifting as he took in the sight of you. He seemed to forget entirely about his phone call, abruptly cutted the call saying he would talk later. You didn't notice his gaze and you sat down at the dressing table and started your nightly routine. You started applying moisturizer and tied your hair up into a loose bun. But as you lifted your arms, exposing the delicate line of your neck and shoulders, he couldn't help but catch the way your beauty in the mirror's reflection. As you finished your nighttime routine and stood up from the dressing table, you were startled to see Jungkook standing so close, directly behind you. Jungkook, I'm so sorry. You stammered, your cheeks burning. I didn't mean to. It was an accident, I swear. Jungkook was still, his gaze locked on you with a look of surprise, but it soon melted into something much more mischievous. His lips curved into a slow smirk as he reached out, gently grasping your wrist before you could make an exit. An accident? He took a step closer, his fingers lingering around your wrist as he pulled you just a bit nearer. Are you sure it was an accident, Vayan? Your breath caught and you nodded frantically, trying to steady yourself. Yes, of course. I wasn't paying attention and I just. If that was an accident, I wonder what you would do if you actually tried. Your heart pounded as he took a step closer, his hand reaching up to brush a strand of hair from your face. But if you're so keen on kissing, then maybe you should finish what you started. I want you to kiss me properly all night. You blinked, stunned by his command. What? All night? He reached out, his hand tracing along your jawline before tilting your chin up to meet his gaze. Now kiss me. Your heart was pounding and you had no strength to do this, so you stood there looking down. You are my wife, Ryan. You have all rights to kiss me, and it's your punishment for your accidental kiss. There is no going back from this punishment. Come on, Ryan. Taking a shaky breath, you moved closer, your hands finding their way to his chest as you looked up at him. When you finally pulled back, gasping for air, his gaze remained locked on you, a smile playing on his lips. I didn't tell you to stop, he whispered, his voice lacquered with authority. His hands traced patterns on your waist, pulling you back to him. You are not done yet, Ryan. Every time you tried to pull away to catch your breath, he would gently pull you back, his lips finding yours once more. His grip was possessive, his touch tender yet firm, a reminder of the power he held over you. As Jungkook pulled away from the kiss, his breathing ragged, he looked into your eyes with a softness you hadn't seen before. Ryan, I'm sorry for doing this to you. But I love you, Ryan. I may not show it often, but I do. Every day I crave for your touch. Just a simple kiss or a hug. But every time I try to get close, you push me away, and I can't tell you how much that hurts. His thumb brushed softly over your cheek as he continued. I have been craving these kisses for so long. I know, Jungkook. I didn't understand it at first. I didn't know how I felt about you. But over time, I started falling for you too. And now I'm completely in love with you. When you asked me to kiss you, I did it because I wanted to. I love you so much, Jungkook. I crave for your kisses and hugs too. Look at you, so shy even after saying all that. He teased, a hint of playfulness in his voice. You know, hearing you say those words, it's more than I ever expected. All this time, I thought you didn't feel the same way. I was scared of getting too close, scared of this life. But with you, I feel safe. I promise to always protect you, Ryan. I know my world isn't easy to accept, but I will do everything to make you feel secure, to make you happy. You smile, leaning into him, letting the warmth of his words wash over you. As long as I'm with you, I will be happy. Jungkook's smile grew and he tightened his hold on you, pressing a gentle kiss to your forehead. Then stay with me for as long as you will have me. You nodded, brushing a soft kiss over his lips. Forever sounds perfect. Then, what about my punishment? He asked, his fingers gently tracing patterns along your back. Do you agree to it? Punishment? What punishment are you talking about, Mr. Jungkook? He raised an eyebrow, his smirk widening. Oh, don't act innocent now. You still owe me for that accidental kiss, and I'm not letting you go until I'm satisfied. And just what exactly do you have in your mind, Mr. Mafia Boss? He leaned in close, his breath warm against your ear. How about you kiss me until I say it's enough? Yes, the whole night, he confirmed, his hand moving to gently cup your face. Unless you are too scared. I'm not scared. In fact, I think you might be the one who will give up first. Jungkook let out a deep laugh, clearly amused by your boldness. Is that so? Challenge accepted then. But remember, you asked for this.